Hello everyone, so I have an update here on the GRAU 51st arsenal near Moscow. I thought we were done with that, but we have some excellent new satellite images shared by the British Ministry of Defence on Twitter. First, their statement is on screen now, and it does clarify a few points. I won't read it in full as it's quite lengthy, but firstly, it clarifies what was in it. So it says the arsenal held 105,000 tons of munitions, including ballistic, air-launched and air defence missiles, as well as artillery shells and small arms ammunition. The statement also clarifies that this wasn't a Ukrainian strike but was indeed a fire that caused a munition detonation. Now, Russia said that immediately, but nobody believed them. A bit of a case of the Russian who cried debris here. As Russia's lied so many times in the past, we just don't believe them for one time it actually was an accident. I thought this was a Ukrainian strike and Russia was just lying about it. The Ministry of Defence concluded it was poor weapons handling procedures alongside negligent storage of munitions, and the Ministry of Defence throw in some shade here. This is in keeping with a long-standing trend of regularly evidenced Russian ineptitude with regards to the safe and proper handling of its own munitions. So the British MOD pulling no punches here and criticising Russia for assigning the numbnuts in charge of handling its missiles. Finally, it concludes that this is the largest loss of Russian munitions caused by Russia's own actions in the current conflict so far. Now, onto the satellite imagery. First, this is what I concluded as destroyed with the last satellite imagery we saw a few weeks ago, which wasn't as high quality as this one, which is why I want to take a look at this to see if it confirms anything else. That one concluded multiple ammunition storage bunkers and warehouses were destroyed, the train yard destroyed, a diesel power plant destroyed, and more. So the imagery today confirms what we knew, but it also shows it in higher detail and confirms a few extra. So it's definitely worth a quick look. Here's a nice overview of the destruction. The British EMD uploaded it upside down, maybe channeling their inner Australian here. So here, the top is south, the bottom is north. So bear that in mind. The MOD zoomed in on some areas too, which I want to take a look at. First, we're going to have a look at the zoomed in, high detailed section here. This is the epicenter of a blast. You can see an absolutely massive crater, which was once a bunker. Let's zoom in. So, the structures around the epicenter are completely leveled. We had that confirmed with the past satellite imagery, but this shows them a bit clearer. The three in blue were not bunkers, but were above ground warehouses and storage. All that remains of them are the earthen mounds that were supposed to protect them from incidents like this. They obviously went to the same school of protection as the S300 and S400 did, because they failed to protect the warehouses. In red, a hardened storage bunker. It mainly survived, but you can see a gaping hole in the centre and smaller holes in the roof, plus debris outside. So it appears that whatever was inside this detonated and blew the doors open. Or, I guess maybe the doors were already open. Either way, it appears that whatever was inside has gone for a Burton. Section 2 in the centre is, or rather was, a long metal storage warehouse. This has a railway track running alongside it. You can see this structure is completely levelled. I didn't highlight it as it would make the map too cluttered. You can see a crater slap bang in the middle of it. Now, I don't know whether this crater is something that was stored here that detonated, or if a missile from the other ammo bunker that detonated landed here and levelled this. But regardless, this storage facility is gone. Now, on the Google Maps imagery, this storage facility is open to the elements at the upper end, so it seems like a temporary storage area considering the train track. So, from what I can tell here, this seems to be where munitions arriving here are unloaded from the trains and then taken to the hardened bunkers, or munitions taken from the hardened bunkers taken to here and then loaded onto the trains. This definitely appears to be the main loading and reloading section, which is a Brucey bonus because originally I just thought this was storage for non-munitions, tools, light vehicles like forklift trucks, storage crates and the like, things like that we'd expect to see at a facility like this. But it seems more like it's reloading and loading the munitions, so hopefully something very important was here, about to arrive at the front lines, and is now gone. Highlighted in red are three hardened underground bunkers. I'm going to go left to right. On the left you can see what is now covered with more holes than the Moskva. You can even see smoke coming out still. So whatever is inside here is destroyed. This was a hardened munition bunker, so it must have been something important. But the fact it isn't completely levelled, I'm guessing something less explosive than where the epicenter were. Those epicenter ones were just a crater, I imagine is where the missiles were. Moving right, our second red highlighted bunker, again destroyed. You can see smoke coming out of this one too, and its doors look to have been blasted open with debris scattered around outside. And at the bottom, our third hardened bunker. This one, it looks like the roof has collapsed completely because of a blast. In blue, are three more above ground warehouses, all completely levelled with nothing remaining. The next section we'll zoom in on is this. This is the base's rail yard, a large structure with railway tracks on either side and various buildings. You can see the roof of this building is destroyed for the most part with just the skeleton remaining. Here, you can see just to the right what looks to be a variety of utility trucks, but they're not. We'll get to that in just a moment. I've added two blue arrows. One shows what appears to be a crater where something pretty heavy landed, but again it isn't, as we shall soon see. The other shows a train parked up. I didn't see this in other satellite imagery because the images weren't clear enough, so this is something new we can see here. And I can't tell if this is newly arrived after the strike or was here during. There is some shading and shadows on the train which looks like it could be fire damage, but I can't tell for certain. Here it is on Google Maps. You can see the objects which appear to be trucks are here as well, in the exact same positions. So, they aren't trucks, they must be some kind of storage containers just littered around. You can also see that the train is in the siding, two carriages, the same as in the aftermath. So, I think this train doesn't move anymore, or very rarely. You know our railways and goods yards and the like, you can sometimes see trucks and carriages and the like just left in a siding that haven't moved for years and have been abandoned. I think that's the case here, but the infrastructure of the rail yard is certainly finished here, technically still standing but full of holes and signs of fire damage. The UK government provided a final, zoomed in high quality section which I'll take a look at now. This one is paired with an after showing this area completely destroyed as well. This is located next to the area which I think was the epicenter of the blast. You can see these bunkers detonated pretty well as well. This one shows three hardened structures and two of the above ground warehouses. In green, a very small hardened shelter, which I believe is something to do with the filtration, power, or temperature control for the bunkers and that sort of thing. When I first looked at this place in the original videos, I thought these were some sort of air raid shelters, but there are quite a lot of them. Typically, one of the hardened shelters seems to have one of these near it, so I think it's some sort of control of the environment and the stuff inside. I put that in green. This one here is destroyed with a big hole in it. Now, the bunkers. The one on the left is intact-ish. There are craters surrounding it, but if you look carefully at the roof, you can see it is sagging and has caved in somewhat, and on the right hand side, there's a big hole and a crack running through it. The one in the centre has been replaced by a crater. The one on the right, you can see more clearly here, where the roof of the shelter has caved in. It seems these hardened shelters are made just as shabbily as everything else that Russia has, as I don't imagine the roof is intended to prolapse like this. In blue, two above ground warehouses both levelled. Now, that's it for the zoomed in section that the British MOD supplied. The main image when I zoom in on different sections, the image quality gets worse. But it is clear enough to show us some new stuff and confirm some additional things. This section here, we previously had marked as one bunker shown as unknown, one warehouse shown as unknown, and the rest originally seemed to be fine and dandy. That isn't the case. If we zoom in on that section with this new clearer satellite imagery, we can add two more bunkers to our tally. The top one, which I had marked as safe, you can see smoke coming from inside the bunker. It is hard to make out, there isn't much of it, and I hope it comes across clear on YouTube. It isn't a huge amount of smoke, but smoke coming from inside nonetheless. So, I don't think we could call it destroyed, but the fact there's a fire inside means whatever is stored there can't be in the best of shape. The second one, just below it, this was originally marked as unknown, but we can now confirm this is destroyed. You can see smoke coming through it much more clearly here, from the bottom right hand corner, and looking like it's coming from the door as well. Next up, this side, the same area. This warehouse was marked as unknown, but you can see a big hole in the bottom part where something landed on it. So we can definitely mark this one as damaged now. I've added them now on our map as blue. to indicate damage, and the yellow bunker turned red for destroyed. So, not too bad. One more bunker confirmed destroyed, another hardened shelter confirmed as damaged is a nice bonus. There was another building marked as unknown in the blue circle. I'm going to check it out now, since we have better imagery. And it's shown here. Hard to see because it's in shadows, but it looks still standing and not damaged. Nothing new to add here, just one to subtract. It's above ground warehouse. So I'll mark it as green for safe. Now, we're also going to check the big building in the blue circle. This was originally thought of as being safe in the imagery we had before, but we now know that isn't the case. So, you can see this is indeed damaged. Still standing technically, but I wouldn't want to go up onto the top floor and do a tap dance. There's multiple holes blasted into it, bits and pieces of it littering the ground. It looks like it will fall over if somebody sneezed on it. I will label it as damaged, but really it's quite badly damaged. I mean, I guess I might as well put this as destroyed given the amount of wreckage littering it, and some of the roofs have collapsed. This will have to be condemned, and if Russia intends to rebuild this place, then this building will have to be torn down. To the left, a white roof building with holes. Originally thought to be safe but is damaged. Minor damage, but still. The others we can see here, we've already had confirmation of. This bit here, the building was marked as yellow for unknown. You can see now that it's safe. The others around here, we had confirmed already. There is debris littering around, but none of the bunkers are destroyed. So, our map now amended. One new bunker confirmed destroyed, one new bunker confirmed as damaged and smoking, one warehouse confirmed now as damaged at the bottom, and the large hub of the base confirmed as very badly damaged, and the warehouse next to it slightly damaged. Removed from our map, one warehouse now confirmed as safe, and one bunker confirmed as safe. So that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. A bit of a longer one, but I definitely thought these were worth taking a look at. Thanks so much for watching, and take care everybody.